Unit 1, 1.1, Where the Mind is Without Fear. Warming up. 1. Pair up with your partner and match the terms with their given meanings. Answer. Column A. 1. Humanism. Column B. A rationalistic outlook towards humans rather than a divine or supernatural one. 2. Patriotism. Quality of being patriotic. Vigorous support for one's country. 3. Internationalism. State or process of being international. 4. Liberalism. Holding liberal views. 5. Environmentalism. Concern about and action aimed at protecting the environment. 2. Poems in English are of different types: sonnet, limerick, ballad, elegy, free verse, epic, lyric, humorous, idyll. Taking the help of a dictionary or internet, guess and write the type of poem against its description. 1. A long story poem, often mythical, epic. 2. A short story poem with a message, ballad. 3. A poem of 14 lines, sonnet. 4. A song-like poem, lyric. 5. A poem with no uniformity of rhyme, rhythm, etc., free verse. 6. A poem set in picturesque, rustic background, idyll. 7. A sad poem lamenting death of a loved one, elegy. 8. A 5-line short funny poem with rhyme scheme AABBA, limerick. 9. A poem written just to create humor, humorous.
1.1 Where the Mind is Without Fear. Rabindranath Tagore, 1861 to 1941, was the author of Gitanjali and its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. This poem is one of his vastly read and discussed poems. It was originally composed in Bengali and later he himself translated it into English. This poem is from his Nobel Prize-winning anthology Gitanjali. Anthology means collection of poems. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British. In this poem, besides political freedom from British, Tagore also appeals to God for social, educational, and economic freedom for the people of India. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high. Where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Fragments means broken parts. Narrow domestic walls means division on the basis of religion, caste, class, and color in societies and between countries of the world. Where words come out from the depth of truth. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. Tireless striving means continuous efforts and struggle. Stretches its arms. Now this means aims at achieving a goal. Stream of reason means continuous flow of thoughts. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee, into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Dreary means lifeless. Dead habit means old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful. Thee means yours. Ever widening means forever broadening one's outlook. Heaven of freedom. Now this means condition of total freedom of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, while respecting those of others. This beautiful poem has been composed by Rabindranath Tagore.
Factual question. What does the poet pray to the Almighty for? Answer. The poet prays to the Almighty to let his country wake up into a heaven where everyone enjoys freedom of mind and spirit. He also asks God to lead us forward into ever-widening thought and action. What are reason and dead habit compared to? Answer. The poet wishes God to lead his country to a heaven of freedom where his countrymen enjoy social, political, religious, and intellectual freedom. What does the poet wish for? Answer. Reason and dead habit are compared to a clear stream and dreary desert, respectively. English workshop 1. In your notebook, write down lines from the poem as a proof for the following. A. Tagore wishes for a nation where people are truthful. Answer. Line. Where words come out from the depth of truth. B. The poet would like everyone to work hard to reach their goal and in the long run to reach perfection. Answer. Line. Where timeless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. C. The poet wishes that everyone in his country holds his head high in dignity. Answer. Line. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. D. The poet dreams of a nation where knowledge should be free to all. Answer. Line. Where knowledge is free. E. The poem is a prayer. Answer. Line. Into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. 2. Read the columns carefully and match the expressions with their meanings. Answer. Number. Column A. Column B. 1. The head is held high. A person with self-respect and proud of possessing it. 2. Narrow domestic walls. Narrow-mindedness. 3. Knowledge is free. Education is given to all. 4. Depth of truth. Sincerity of heart. 5. Mind is without fear. A fearless person. 6. Stretches its arms. Aim at perfection. 7. Clear stream of reason. Clear thinking. 8. Dead habits. Dried infertile land of sands. 9. Ever widening thought and action. Broadening the outlook and attitude. 3a. Answer the following questions in your own words. A. How is the world broken into fragments? Answer. The world is broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls like differences in caste, creed, gender, color, religion, and language. B. Explain what the tireless striving should be for. Answer. Tireless striving refers to the relentless and tireless hard work that the poet expects this countryman to put in to achieve perfection. C. Where come out from the depth of truth? Explain in your own words. Answer. Alliteration. As two words, where and words, begin with the same letter, w, w, and produce the same sound. D. Who is thee in the poem? What is the poet Answer. God is referred to as thee in the poem. He wants God to lead his country to a place where religious, social, political, and intellectual freedom is experienced in the truest sense so that people can get back their lost dignity and help the country progress. E. What qualities does the poet wish to inculcate in his countrymen? Answer. The poet wants to inculcate truthfulness, fearlessness, self confidence, industriousness, rationality, and logical thinking in his countrymen. B. Write in your notebook your own response and justify where needed. A. Is the poem a prayer for India alone? Answer. No, the poem isn't prayer for India alone. It is a universal plea that holds good at all times and for all the nations of the world. B. What should the words we speak reflect? Answer. The words we speak should reflect out truthfulness. C. What should people keep on widening? How can it be done? Answer. People should keep on widening their thoughts. This can be done by abandoning all forms of superstitious beliefs and orthodox patterns that come in the way of logical reasoning. D. From what darkness of night should our nation awaken? Answer. Our nation should awaken from the darkness of captivity and slavery of foreign rule, of superstitious beliefs and discrimination of caste, creed, and religion, into a heaven of freedom where everyone enjoys social, physical, mental, intellectual freedom. E. What attributes of Rabindranath Tagore does the poem or prayer reflect? Answer. The poem reflects a patriotic Rabindranath Tagore. He comes across as a supporter of human rights and a staunch advocate of liberty in all its forms: political, social, mental, and intellectual. F. What effect does the repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line? Answer. The repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line achieves an artistic effect known as anaphora. It emphasizes and lends clarity to the kind of place that Tagore wishes his country to become, thereby intensifying the theme of the poem. 4. Read the poem carefully and complete the table after the discussion in pairs. One is done for you. Concepts in the poem: present situation, expected ideal situation. 1. Mind. Mind is full of fear. Fearless mind. 2. Head. Head is bowed low due to lack of self-respect and low self-esteem. Head is held high. 3. Knowledge. Knowledge is a prerogative of a few chosen ones. Knowledge is free for all. 4. Words. Shallow and superficial words. Truthfulness prevails. 5. Habit. Old harmful traditions and customs are practiced. People think logically and use reason. 6. Thought and action. Narrow outlook. People are progressive and broad-minded. 5. A. Complete the following sentences using your own interpretation. A. When the mind is without fear and head unbowed, we enjoy dash freedom. When the mind is without fear and head unbowed, we enjoy mental freedom. B. When knowledge is free, every citizen enjoys the right to dash and dash. When knowledge is free, every citizen enjoys the right to read and write. C. We can prevent dash injustice when we pull down discriminatory walls of caste, class, religion, etc. We can prevent social injustice when we pull down discriminatory walls of caste, class, religion, etc. D. Constant effort and strife leads to dash. Constant effort and strife leads to perfection. E. Logical thinking and reasoning can put a stop to dash. Logical thinking and reasoning can put a stop to superstitions. F. Tagore appeals to God to make his country a dash. Tagore appeals to God to make his country a heaven of freedom. B. Fill in the blanks. A. Students should keep themselves aloof from dash. Students should keep themselves aloof from dogmatism. B. When dash, everyone will be literate. When educated, everyone will be literate. C. It is a social duty of every student of modern world to uproot dash from societies. It is a social duty of every student of modern world to uproot discrimination from societies. D. Students must develop dash outlook and attitudes. Students must develop scientific outlook and attitude. E. In the world of psychophancy, students must dash. In the world of psychophancy, students must season. Six. Find out the examples of metaphor from the poem. Answer. Example of metaphor from the poem. 1. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. 2. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. 7. Almost every line of the poem begins with the word where, and it expects the idealistic country and countrymen. Now work in a group of 6 students and compose your poem regarding ideal school. Begin your lines with the word where. Answer. Ideal school. When nature offers its classrooms for learning, where 4 walls do not define a child's world, where discipline comes from within, where little hearts bask in the sunshine of human emotions, where homework is home play instead, where the thirst for knowledge defeats the greed for marks, where hobbies and passion win the war against stress and pressure, where being is more important than becoming, let every tiny feet walk into that ideal school. 8. Read the poem. Write an appreciation of the poem in about 12 to 15 sentences with the help of the following points. Points: title, poet, rhyme scheme, favorite line, theme, central idea, figures of speech, special features, type of the poem, language, tone, implied meaning, etc. Why I like, dislike the poem. Answer. Title: Where the mind is without fear. Poet: Rabindranath Tagore. Rhyme scheme: the poet has chosen to write in free verse without any rhythm scheme or meter, thus making it one big complex sentence. Favorite line: into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. This line makes the whole poem a prayer, an appeal made to God. Theme, central idea: the poet's desire to see his countrymen free and the qualities he wishes to see in them, as well as hopes for a better future. Figures of speech. Figures of speech add to the beauty of the poem. Tagore has used apostrophe, metaphor, alliteration, synecdoche, and personification to express his thoughts. Special features. The poem is a prayer poem written in a serious tone that echoes patriotism throughout. The mood transcends from gloomy in the beginning to hopeful in the last 2 sentences. The use of into in the last 2 sentences not only ushers in hope but also lends a sense of clarity, underlining the theme of the poem. The implied meaning that the poet wishes to convey is that only when people experience freedom of mind and spirits can a country progress. Through the beautiful use of imagery, such as clear stream of reason and dreary sand of dead habit, the poet presents his vision for a brighter tomorrow for India, while he indirectly acknowledges the reality of the present. Why I like the poem? The poem's message is timeless, as it does not fail to have a global appeal today as well. Even though the poem has been written for India in the pre-independence era, we can still relate to it it today. The gap between the present and the future presented in the poem through simple language enhances the poet's purpose and leaves the reader hopeful. All in all, the poem inspires us to collectively strive towards making India a heaven of freedom. 9. Imagine that you have to deliver a speech on the occasion of Independence Day or Republic Day in the school assembly. Prepare a speech to deliver on India of my dreams. Use the following steps: greeting and salutation, self introduction, introduction of the topic, elaboration of the topic with examples, conclusion, thanking audience. Answer: respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends, a very good morning to one and all. I stand before you to express my vision for the India I dream of. French Nobel laureate Romain Rolland remarked, "If there is one place on the face of the earth where all the dreams of living men have found a home from the very earliest days when man began the dream of existence, it is India." So, what do I dream for my motherland that has manifested the dreams of countless others across the world? Still, as a child of my beloved motherland, I have a vision and a dream for my country. I wish for India what each child wishes for his mother, that is, happiness, peace, prosperity, and fame. On the technological front, I wish India to be an icon of technological advancement. I wish it to be the richest in technical know how. India has suffered in the past due to personal self interest of a few, but the India of my dreams shall see all her children united together by the bond of love and compassion. I wish all Indians live in an India that is free of poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, and communal disharmony. My dream of India would be a manufacturing hub and the largest exporter of goods. Culturally, I wish India to be rich and prosperous, for which we need to preserve our ancient culture and carry it with us wherever we go. I wish India to be a university of love and global peace. The India of my dreams, I would radiate harmony and brotherhood. No Indian in my dream India would ever have to starve. The sweet fruits of their labor would assure them of the daily bread. All men and women would enjoy equality as social evils like child labor, female feticide, and others would become a thing of the past. India of my dreams would be guided by the youth who have the humility of a saint, knowledge of the leader, and wisdom of a guru. Thank you. 10. Read the short story written by Rabindranath Tagore, The Kabuliwala or The Homecoming. Visit the website and collect more information about Rabindranath Tagore's life and work. Answer: students are expected to do this activity on their own.